Hi everyone, let's go over my bullish and bearish Elliott Wave scenarios on Bitcoin, starting with the medium time frame bullish scenario where we're looking for an unfinished impulsive structure to the upside, where we are still waiting for wave 3 to finish, wave 4 to begin, and then a wave 5 towards the upside. Now for wave 3, it's usually quite difficult to know exactly how far it is going to extend, but most commonly the 618 levels are very nicely respected, and when you pass a 618 level, price tends to go to the next 618 level in a wave 3. Now these fibs are taken from the low to the high of 1 to the low of 2, and you can see that the 1.618 offered a little bit of resistance, then we passed it, moved to the 2.618 over here, again resistance, but then we flipped it towards the 3.618, we passed the 3.618, increasing probabilities, to then move to the 4.618. And the 4.618 is at a very interesting level because we also have the golden target box over here sitting between 38.5k and 39k, which is big resistance from a higher time frame perspective, as we also have a point of control there, 38.7k, of this multi-year volume profile over here. Now if we then look towards the downside after wave 3, we are then still expecting a wave 4 to the downside, which preferably is longer in time than this wave 2. So we can expect a bit of a range to form, complex, a flat is common in a wave 4 as well, but some bigger structure to the downside, where if wave 3 is going to end around the point of control, around the 4.618, then the fib levels for wave 4 are shown over here, as I pulled it from the low of 2 to the point of control at the moment, where the most common target for wave 4 is between the 382 and the 05, between 33.9k and 32.3k, with a less common target being the 236 at 35.7k, and the invalidation is the 618, the golden pocket, at 30.8k. Now what is interesting about the targets for wave 4 is that there's also overlap with the 05 over here with the high time frame support resistance area, the white box offering support, support, resistance, 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 and we can then flip it again to support for then a continuation to the upside for higher prices in a wave 5. Now if we then zoom in to this wave 3 over here, then we count it as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and eventually a wave 5 to the upside on the lower time frames. In this scenario, inside the blue wave 3, we then have another 5-wave structure and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and eventually a wave 5 to finish blue 3. Then we have a blue 4 over here, and then we're looking for a wave 5 towards the upside. And as you can see on the higher time frames, the 12-hour over here, you can see you could count like a 1, 2, 3, now a rangy 4, and then potentially still looking for a 5 towards the upside. And also based on what we see locally, probabilities are generally higher to still take the 38k high over here, instead of moving to the downside already. Of course it is a range, but that are the probabilities on the lower time frame. And also if we look over here on the higher time frame, it makes sense 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to then finish around that 4.618 and then end this wave 3 over here. And if we then look at the medium time frame bearish scenario, then we have to look at a wave 5 to finish soon, after which we then expect a bigger corrective structure in the bullish scenario for continuation to the upside, or an impulsive structure to the downside for lower prices to come. And this depends on the probabilities of this being an ABC and then a move down, or a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then a move to the upside. And that is a video that I'm going to post tonight at 7 p.m. Central European time, as that is always the weekly cycle, macro, and high time frame update. But in this scenario, the biggest difference with the bullish scenario, which means wave 3, 4, 5, is the invalidation over here. Because in this bullish scenario, you're looking for 3, 4. The invalidation of 4 is the golden pocket. However, if we're looking for a wave 5 to finish and move to the downside, it's absolutely normal to hit the golden pocket. Even the 786 is still very common for a potential 1, 2, 1, 2, and then continuation to the upside. So a deep retracement is no problem in this particular scenario. Now, if we look at the waves of this particular scenario, then wave 3 went to the 3.618, which is a common target for wave 3, but the probabilities become lower when we look at the sub-degree count of this wave 3, as well as the length in time and the length in price of this wave 4. When we look at the sub-degree of this wave 3, then we have to think about a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, but we never got that 5 to the upside, another 4 and another 5, right? We didn't take this high twice basically, and then a 4, 545. It was just a single time we took the high, which lowers the probabilities of this scenario a little bit. And also when we look at this wave 4, it's incredibly short compared to a much longer wave 2, while usually, based on probabilities, a wave 4 is the longer wave in an impulse, right? Between wave 2 and 4, wave 4 tends to be longer in time than wave 2. The target area for a wave 5 is between the 1 and the 0.618 over here, which is a target area that is taken with the trend-based fib extension from the low to the high of 1 to the low of wave 4, and then toggle on the 1 to 1 over here. And the 0.618 is the maximum target, which is taken from the low of 1 to the high of 3 to the low of this wave 4, which gives you a target up here, which is sitting at 40.4k, which also is in confluence with the blue target box over here, sitting between 40.3 and 40.6k. We have one below, 39.3k to 39.7k, and again the golden box, 38.5 to 39k. So definitely an area of interest over here for a wave 5 to eventually finish, for then a move to the downside. By the way, if we look at this wave 4, I finally want to mention, if you take a fib from the low to the high over here, you can see that this wave 4 did not hit the 0.236. There is, however, another target for a wave 4, which is the 146. I rarely talk about it because it is incredibly rare for a wave 4 to bounce on the 146. Even if you drag it from this low over here, you can see the 146 is hit, but then again, it is a very rare target for a wave 4 and therefore not really something to consider unless all the other things fail. If we then finally look at the probabilities of the different scenarios over here on the medium time frame, then the probabilities are higher for the bullish scenario over here, where we're then looking for still a wave 3 to finish, likely around that 4.618. If we also take a look at the more local count over here, and then a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, and then eventually a wave 5 to the upside, where we're looking for, well, on the lower time frames, also still higher probability of a move towards the upside here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, reach the 4.618, the golden target box, and then look for a wave 4 towards the downside, which is in nice confluence with that high time frame support resistance area and the value area low of the range at 31.3k. Of course, the invalidation is 30.8k, right? So this is currently the highest probability scenario on this time frame. I hope this video was helpful or valuable to you. Please check out the most recent educational video I've made about the best trading indicator you can use, in my opinion, which is the CVD. And for now, thanks for watching and subscribing, and I'd like to see you at the next one. Bye bye.